So who wins? You didn't really give us a prediction here.
It's hard to go up against Unk time, but I feel like this is a different Pereira, bro. I'm kind of swinging Pereira, but I'm gonna put it with Ankalaev, man. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Alex Pereira, he's got to be more.
The aura of Alex Pereira has gone. He now knows this man's human. I can beat him. I've taken his best shots. I can take him down. I beat him once before, and I'll beat him again.
Alex Pereira's got to off-balance Ankalaev. If he can do that, he's going to be able to get to that sweet spot, that pop, 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 a lot sooner. So, boys, after all that...
Ankalaev's going to close that gap. I know Ankalaev says he's going to strike with him. I don't think that's a great idea. I really don't think that's a good idea. But, yeah, I really don't see this fight going the distance this time. But I'm putting my money on Pereira to claim the title. I have to go with him.
Exactly, from the last fight, just shut down that comment. I understand. I've done it before. Did I do it to Alex? Yeah, I've done it to Alex before as well. It's easier said than done.
The countdown has begun, and the UFC world is on fire. Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev are set to clash once again, and this rematch has everyone talking.
Something else that we've seen as well with Ankalaev. So, to my knowledge at least, and I don't know Alex Pereira and his team personally, so I don't know. But he started grappling in his late 20s / early 30s.
Yeah.
Now, he for sure trains hard. He's a multiple weight world champion. The guy must train grappling most, if not every day. So his grappling level is going to be very high, regardless if he's been doing it since he was in his 30s or 20s or whatever.
But Ankalaev's been doing it since he was a baby.
Ankalaev's been doing it since he was at least 10 years old.
Yeah.
And the conditioning, you know, you can be as fit as you want. You can grapple every day for 5, 10 years, whatever. Your conditioning will be up there. But against a guy who's been doing it for 20+ years, every day.
Yeah.
The fighters have history, the stakes are higher than ever, and the experts have been giving their final predictions. Some believe Pereira will come back stronger and shock the world, while others insist Ankalaev is simply too smart, too sharp, and too disciplined to let this one slip away.
So who wins? You didn't really give us a prediction here.
It's hard to go up against Unk time, but I feel like this is a different Pereira, bro. I'm kind of swinging Pereira, but I'm gonna put it with Ankalaev, man. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Alex Pereira, he's got to be more aggressive than he was that first fight. And by him being a lot more aggressive, he's going to leave those openings, and I think Magomed Ankalaev might land something significant. So I do think Ankalaev walks away with the belt and still.
Alex Pereira fought a lot closer to the cage, bro. For Magomed, he's going to have to get those takedowns. He has to do it early, and he's going to have to do it in the center. And for Alex Pereira, if he can make his leg, his left as good as his right, it could be a different fight, man.
Michael Bisping was one of the first to share his thoughts, breaking down the fight with his signature detail. He pointed out that Pereira has to enter this match with absolute hunger. For Bisping, the key is clear: Pereira cannot afford to be pushed back. If Ankalaev forces him onto the back foot, Bisping believes Pereira's chances of victory shrink dramatically.
Pereira's got to be hungry. He's got to be dangerous. He's got to go forward. He's got to pull the trigger, and he's got to be first. He can't allow himself to get pushed back against Ankalaev. If he does that...
He argued that Ankalaev already showed in the first fight that he has the tools to disrupt Pereira's aura, and now he's coming in with a sharper mindset.
Now, I believe, to a certain degree, for Magomed Ankalaev, the aura of Alex Pereira has gone. He now knows this man's human. I can beat him. I've taken his best shots. I can take him down. I beat him once before, and I'll beat him again. And that's why we've seen Alex Pereira coming out and talking shit and saying that it was hiding from him and all the rest of it, because there's a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Alex Pereira.
Aí o cara fala para dessa fica se escondendo, velho. Cusão, velho, cara, velho.
Not pressure in terms of his lifestyle, not in terms of money, not in terms of his legacy, because that's all set. He's had a great career, but he wants to beat this guy, okay? And I think there's a little bit where Ankalaev is in his head. He's like, this guy's as big as me. He's stronger than me. He's a better wrestler than me. He might even hit harder than me.
In Bisping's prediction, Ankalaev has the upper hand. He explained that from the opening round through most of the fight, Ankalaev would likely dominate with his pressure, his strikes, and his wrestling. However, Bisping did leave one small door open. He admitted that Pereira's kickboxing background makes him dangerous at any moment. By the 10th round, Pereira could still find that one perfect shot. But overall, Bisping leaned towards Ankalaev as the winner.
I think Magomed Ankalaev, because of the wrestling, will force Pereira back up against the fence. I think we'll see a lot of control time. I think we'll see Magomed Ankalaev landing some big shots just like we did last time. I think it's just going to be a continuation of the first fight, round 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Will it get to the 10th round? I don't know. Alex Pereira is not an easy man to finish. Of course, he's got an extensive resume in kickboxing. He's got a solid chin. He ain't no pussy, and he ain't like been knocked out. He's not damaged goods or anything like that. The reality is, styles make fights, and Ankalaev, can take his shots, he can land the shots, he can take him down, he can pressure him, he's got more ways to win. And that's going to overload the mind of Alex Pereira. Remember, he was a kickboxer. He hasn't been doing the grappling side of things too long. And even though Ankalaev isn't your typical Dagestani wrestler.
Then came the perspective of Demetrius Johnson, better known as Mighty Mouse. Johnson analyzed Pereira's approach with precision. He recalled how Pereira fought Jamahal Hill, where he used calf kicks to disrupt the rhythm. Johnson suspects Pereira will once again turn to those same tools against Ankalaev. For him, Pereira's best chance lies in chopping down the legs early and creating openings for his striking arsenal.
And each time Pereira would do that, Ankalaev southpaw, he would hit and he would go off the arc. So if I wanted to respond to that, I can't hit him because Alex Pereira is over there. He needs to get back to doing that, because when he did that in the first fight, he took no damage whatsoever. And after the 5th to 6-1, he was starting to get a response from Magomed Ankalaev. When you look at all Alex Pereira's fights, when he fought Khalil Rountree, when he fought Yuri Prohaska, when he fought Jamahal Hill, he'll always start with attacking that calf kick. Those guys are orthodox and southpaw, but he'll attack the calf kick, and once he starts attacking the calf kick, he starts getting a response. He gets the person throwing the right hand, he slips 2-3, and then he gets in that flow state.
Johnson, however, was equally clear about what Ankalaev needs to do. He argued that Ankalaev must use his jab to the body and mix up his targets. For Mighty Mouse, the path to victory lies in staying disciplined. He believes Ankalaev has to stifle Pereira, press him against the cage, and work for takedowns to wear him down.
He needs to be disciplined like he was in the first fight. You have to address that leg kick a lot sooner. And you also have to be changing your targets, jab to the body, right hand to the head. And then if Alex Pereira does throw that leg kick, why not try to do a takedown off of that, right? That's key victory number 1. Key victory number 2, put Alex Pereira against the cage, stifle him. Because when you put him against the cage and you stifle him, we saw his energy consumption go from here down more. Because once he got his back off the cage, he wasn't as mobile. So I think key to victory number 2 is you got to put his back against the cage, stifle him. That way when he does expend energy to get off the cage, he is not as fast and quick and crisp like he always is.
Still, despite laying out a strong strategy for Ankalaev, Johnson surprised many by giving his prediction in favor of Pereira. He explained that in the first fight, Pereira didn't have the answers for Ankalaev's rhythm. But this time, Johnson expects Pereira to come prepared with adjustments. He pointed out that recent footage of Pereira in training shows a fresher, sharper version of him. That, for Johnson, was enough to predict Pereira's victory in the rematch.
After all that, who do I have winning in the rematch? Ankalaev taking on Alex Pereira. I'm gonna go with Alex Pereira. The reason why is because I felt in the first fight, I felt Alex Pereira just didn't have an answer for the rhythm that Ankalaev was doing. But after seeing some videos of Alex Pereira, I think he's refreshed. I felt when he fought Ankalaev, he was just going banger after banger after banger after banger. I think sometimes the athlete that can wear you out, it could extinguish the fire. And I think now that he's had a lot of rest, he's been able to, enjoy the fruits of his labor, of all that money he's made. Now he's refreshed, and now he's coming in this fight with a new set of eyes. For that, I'm gonna go with Alex Pereira. Poton. Now, boys.
Jamahal Hill, who knows both men well, also added fuel to the fire. Hill believes this rematch will be far more competitive than their first meeting. He acknowledged Pereira's ability to adjust mid-fight, to find a way even when things aren't going his way. But Hill also noted that Ankalaev is a grinder who doesn't stop, someone who matches that same resilience. For Hill, the outcome depends entirely on how fast Pereira adapts. If Pereira can read Ankalaev's moves early, the fight could swing in his favor. But if Ankalaev sets the pace and keeps it, Hill expects him to walk away with another victory.
There's some adjustments that Pereira can make to where he can become where he can make himself more of a headache and give Ankalaev more problems, mainly in the kicks. I believe if Pereira comes out and he's more kick heavy and he works behind his kicks more and puts more emphasis on landing kicks, I believe that it can switch up the fight a little bit. We can see a little bit different of the show.
Alexander Volkanovski also offered his in-depth take analyzing the fight from a tactical point of view. Watching the tape, Volkanovski was impressed with Ankalaev's versatility. He explained how Ankalaev switches stances, usually fighting as a southpaw but adapting as needed. That constant change keeps him safe, gives him defensive advantages, and makes it difficult for opponents to land cleanly. Volkanovski acknowledged Pereira's talent and power, but argued that fighters who face strong southpaws often struggle, and Pereira could be no different.
He can mix it up, change his looks, even change his stances. He's obviously predominantly southpaw, but change his stances, that what suits him defensively. Very wary of where he is, where the danger is. When he's a little more safe, where he can, maybe win some of, have a bit of octagon control himself here and there. Again, very wary of all that sort of stuff, and that's going to be a major factor. Southpaw, again, I feel like Pereira can still do some great work, but if people are very effective with southpaw, can make it a little bit harder for Pereira. That's all I'm saying. Doesn't mean that he loses every time he gets southpaw. Just he finds that a little bit harder.
Volkanovski leaned firmly towards Ankalaev in his prediction. He saw Ankalaev fighting smarter this time, leaning heavier on his wrestling even if he doesn't secure takedowns every time. For Volkanovski, the key is Ankalaev's ability to stay safe, control the cage, and win rounds. He foresaw Ankalaev earning a 5-round decision, using octagon control and defensive awareness to keep Pereira at bay. While he admitted Pereira has knockout potential, Volkanovski was confident Ankalaev would repeat his success and win the rematch.
I'm picking, if you're just picking on who's going to win this, I think Ankalaev does it again. I think he's going to be more wrestle heavy. Will he get the takedowns? No, but he's safe enough on the feet to just constantly get himself out of danger. He's going to be fit enough. You know what I mean? So when there's danger and if Pereira's doing a great job, he can stick to him a little bit, then get himself back there, get him out of danger. Win back that octagon control, do enough to just win 5-round decision. So I'm gonna have to go with Ankalaev for the win. Can Pereira get the knockout? 100%, but I think Ankalaev wins.
Dricus du Plessis brought a completely different flavor to the conversation. He praised Pereira's style, noting how dangerous it is to face someone who constantly walks forward, hits with devastating power, and doesn't mind taking risks. Du Plessis remembered how Ankalaev neutralized Pereira in the first fight by staying out of range and then smothering him up close. He emphasized that Pereira is never comfortable when forced backward, and Ankalaev exposed that weakness.
Yeah, the thing with Pereira is he's a bully fighter in the sense where he walks you down, he's intimidating, because he hits so hard, he doesn't care if he walks into the fire. And Ankalaev was smart in the first fight to stay away and then get all the way in to smother him and get his back, put him on the back foot. You don't, when Pereira's on the back foot, he's not the best. That's not his style.
Yet du Plessis wasn't convinced Ankalaev could repeat the same formula. He admitted he didn't believe Ankalaev's promise of standing and striking with Pereira was a good idea. For du Plessis, engaging Pereira head-on is a recipe for disaster. He predicted this rematch wouldn't go the distance. In his eyes, Pereira's pressure and striking power would eventually break through, and he boldly picked Pereira to win this time.
But now they know Ankalaev's going to close that gap. I know Ankalaev says he's going to strike with him. I don't think that's a great idea. I really don't think that's a good idea. But yeah, I really don't see this fight going the distance this time. But I'm putting my money on Pereira to claim the title. I have to go with him.
Then there was Israel Adesanya, who brought in his unique perspective as someone who has shared the octagon with Pereira. Adesanya focused on Pereira's mindset heading into the rematch. He explained that Pereira has something to prove this time. Losing in the first fight lit a fire in him, and fighters who are chasing redemption carry a different kind of hunger.
I like this fight. I think Alex will be more prepared for this fight. He's more motivated. He hasn't lost that light heavyweight and had that fire where it's like, man, I got to get this back. It's something different we want to get back. So for this fight, I'm gonna go Alex Pereira. I don't know if he finishes Magomed because I've never seen Magomed finish. But I don't. It's not gonna be an easy fight. It's not going to be an easy fight based on...
Adesanya acknowledged that the first fight exposed weaknesses in Pereira's game, but he believes Pereira has learned from it. For Adesanya, Pereira's motivation is the X factor. He predicted Pereira would step into the cage more prepared, more determined, and ready to grind for a victory. While he admitted it won't be an easy fight, Adesanya placed his bet on Pereira winning by decision.
First fight from what I've seen, Alex will have to gain Magomed's respect heavily straight away for it to be a finish.
Take away his confidence that got from
from the last fight. Just shut down that confidence. I understand. I've done it before. Did I do it to Alex? Yeah, I've done it to Alex before as well. It's easier said than done. But I think Alex can do it.
The predictions are split, and that's what makes this rematch so fascinating. Michael Bisping and Alexander Volkanovski see Ankalaev as the smarter, more versatile fighter, capable of shutting Pereira down again. Demetrius Johnson and Dricus du Plessis, on the other hand, Expect Pereira to make the necessary adjustments and land the fight-ending shots that make him so dangerous. Jamahal Hill sits in the middle, acknowledging the unpredictability of the matchup, while Adesanya is firmly behind Pereira, trusting in his fire and will to reclaim glory.
I see it the same way. I'm going to go Magomed Ankalaev, unanimous decision. The fight will look similar to what we saw in the first match. I think Pereira will bring a little bit more pressure early on, but if he's met with a lot of obstacles and difficulty trying to get inside and find his big shots, he might revert back to the ways of his old fighting and just look for that power hook. But I don't see it having the same success on Ankalaev. I think you really got to get creative if you're going to beat a guy like Ank. Think about his only loss in his career, Paul Craig's heel hook.
You sure about that?
It's got to be something out of the ordinary to get Magomed out there. I don't see Magomed sitting in the pocket long enough for Pereira to land a big shot or land a barrage of punches. We just don't see Dagestani fighters engage in that sort of fight all that much, which makes me feel like even if he does get cracked, he's either going to evade or he's going to look to be even more tenacious with his takedowns.
The narratives are colliding just like the fighters will. Pereira, the knockout artist with a kickboxing background and a warrior's mentality, versus Ankalaev, the calculated southpaw who blends striking with wrestling and grinds his opponents down. The experts see danger for both men. Pereira has the power to end the fight in a heartbeat, while Ankalaev has the discipline to control 5 rounds and leave no openings.
We see another 25 minutes, but I do think this is the last time we see Alex Pereira at light heavyweight.
And I think the casual might have to correct you there. I believe Paul Craig was a choke.
Was it a choke?
I think so.
If this gets clipped into a short, then we'll know for sure because it'll come up right about here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so the stage is set. UFC 320 will not just be another fight night, it will be a battle of will, strategy, and pride. The fans are divided, the analysts are divided, and the only certainty is that this rematch will deliver drama. Whether it's Pereira shocking the world with another knockout or Ankalaev proving his dominance with a disciplined performance, the world will be watching. One man will rise and one man will fall. And as the octagon doors close, all predictions will give way to reality.
His coach was telling him to ask questions. He's like a little puppet, you know, it's just so he doesn't come off as looking as bad. He said, I hold my body. He said a lot of things because they know that I'm better. The improvement that I've made, the things that I've done, they know that I'm better. Say what your coach wanted you to say.
I see you very nervous. Please be patient, couple of days. When the cage door closes, I'm gonna show you what for.
That's his coach's idea. Him and his manager, they want to appear more than the athlete. It's his.
It doesn't matter what they say. It's just gonna be me and you in the cage on Saturday.
The stage is set, and all that's left is for the fighters to prove who really owns the spotlight. Who are you backing in this rematch? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Ring Rivalry or Bar Mears, where every fight tells a story.